Hi, and now we're talking about warm-ups. Warm-ups are very, very important in any setting as they help to focus the group and to get people's musical minds switched on and also to get your body going as well, to get your physical body going because that's obviously just as important as what's going on in here. One thing I will say, it's good to mix your warm ups up, to not do the same ones every time, as that can make a session become a little bit tedious.
And some young people will really switch off if it's
Yeah.
the same thing every time. So some of my young people have favourite warm-ups and they'll request them, but we rotate things, and I really like to have warm-ups that relate to the later activity that I'm doing. So, and sometimes if I've gone into a setting and the young people are very restless, or maybe it's been wet playtime, no one's been out, then I like to use things that are calming. Or maybe if people are very tired, an energising warm-up. So I think reading the room and seeing how your young people are feeling and doing warm-ups that will really help them to engage in the main activity is really important. There are so many warm-ups out there. There are brilliant films on the Mac Makes Music website. They've got lots of different suggested warm-ups for your voice, for instrumental games, things like call and response. Should we demonstrate? I really love call and response because young people can take over leading it. And some of the warm-ups that I like best are the ones when young people take over leading it. You can choose young people to come up and be a leader. And it's for some young people that struggle to engage in sessions, that chance to come up and lead, to be in charge, can be absolutely a turning point for them engaging in your sessions. So we'll work with groups of young people where you're really struggling to engage one young person, or they're really struggling to join in. So I think participant-led games can be really important. And in warm-ups like that, you can really let the children take over and make up their own sounds.
Absolutely. And if you're working with a group of people and somebody doesn't want to join in with the warm-up, then that's absolutely fine. I usually find that people who don't want to join in at first are taking in the surroundings and the situation, and once they feel included and safe, then they'll probably join in. It's also good to temper your warm-ups to what you're doing for the day. For example, if I was going to spend a session doing ghost stories and I was doing a vocal warm-up, then one of the first things I would be doing was getting people to go etc.
I think young people being able to use those more humorous sounds and be a little bit silly with it sometimes, use their comic side, can be really engaging. A lot of the young people I work with will switch off if I talk too much. So going into a session, being very prepared and knowing exactly what I'm going to do and having a plan B and a plan C is really important. Not talking lots at the beginning but going straight into an activity can really help. You can lose a group, I think, if you go in and you talk a lot about what your aims are in the session.
Absolutely,
We can pass on that musical knowledge as we go through the session, but we don't have to spend 10 minutes describing what we're going to do. That will lose a lot of young people, and that's a real shame. So having those warm-ups that you've got in your head that you can do really quickly will really help to engage and energise the young people that you're working with. And I really love games like Bungalow, where we're singing and young people get to come up and do individual dance moves. It's a lovely one. My Name is Joe's a good one, isn't it?
It is. There are hundreds of different warmths, and we find that people adapt them to do them in different ways as well, according to what they're doing. It's like the song is never finished. You want to keep working on it, by all means do.
And I think as a music leader or music teacher, you will find your own way of being comfortable doing all the different games and warm-ups. You'll find your own way of doing it, and young people will suggest their creative ideas. And I think it's really important that we don't say, this is the way you do this game, this is the way you do this warm-up. Letting the young people say, why don't we try this, is really, really valuable. giving them that time of going, okay, yeah, let's try it like that. Let's try it with these instruments. Let's try it a bit differently. You might not be quite in your comfort zone, but it will really help to engage and lift a young person's self-esteem if their idea is included.
Yeah, absolutely, because every session is a voyage of discovery for everyone.